Welcome back, guys, to All About That Mystery, where I'm joined with my two co-hosts, Joseph Reevil.
Timothy Chalamet.
Who? Why?
Timothy Chalamet.
Where?
Is he here?
And Paolo
What?
Sebastio.
Yeah.
And we're back for another All About That Mystery. I hope you enjoyed the last one. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely go check it out. We talk about Area 51. And at the end of the episode...
Oh.
It's a mystery.
Oh.
But I did actually, at the end of that, hint towards what today's episode was going to be about. I'm sure you guys remember. Today's episode is going to be about the concept theory of the Titanic.
Oh.
Yep.
Spooky.
So,
wait, the one that shrunk.
the one that shrunk.
The one that shrunk. It shrunk.
Well,
It shrunk into she.
It's shrunk in the shoe.
right. Should we get into it?
Yeah,
we shall. Are you ready?
We shall.
No.
Oh, you prepare yourself.
No.
Yeah. I'm prepared.
So, can I just say, and I'll say this at the start of every mystery episode, none of these are going to be 100% factual. It'll be like 99.9%. Like, there's always going to be one thing that, obviously...
Some could be 50%.
Yeah, some could be. Some could be 45%.
But they're going to be told from word of mouth, from people and interview. Like, so, you know, unless you were there to experience this certain concept, like, thing, and if you, for example, Area 51, if you've worked there, no one ever is going to know. So this is just the majority of what people have stated and facts, you know, like quotation marks, facts. Anyway, we'll get straight into it. So I'm just going to, you know, if you don't know what the Titanic is.
I don't know why I put my hand like that. Facts.
Speaking straight facts.
If you don't know what the Titanic is,
I don't.
It was a British passenger line operated, liner, not line.
It's just a line of
It's just a line of
passengers.
passengers. It was a British passenger liner.
Passionate liner.
I can't speak.
It was a British
and it was
liner.
operated by the White Star Line, which is a company. And unfortunately, it sank in the North Atlantic Ocean on the 15th of April 1912 after striking an iceberg during the maiden voyage from Southampton.
Striking an iceberg.
I'm just writing down my notes.
Give it a left up.
But yeah, it went from Southampton. I didn't know that. For research, but it went from Southampton, UK, to New York City. Well, going to New York City, and it had an estimated of 2,224 passengers and crew aboard, and unfortunately more than 1,100.
Wow, it's weird because they
died.
Yeah.
So.
It was called the unsinkable ship, and it sunk.
Well,
Didn't
we'll get into that.
Oh,
we shall find out.
Did it sink?
So, sorry, 1,500 people died, and it was claimed as the making it the deadliest sinking of a single ship up to that time.
So it did sink.
We'll see.
Oh,
But as Joe said, it was claimed to be the unsinkable. Like this, that was its brand image. It's the unsinkable ship. It was this new technology or new manufacturing they had made for the kind of foundations of the ship, and it was made to be sturdy. And actually, it remains today to be the deadliest peacetime sinking of a superliner or cruise ship.
well, that's bad advertising.
Yeah.
That's false advertising. I want my money back.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure some of the people do as well that are on the Titanic. But anyways, so everyone seems to agree that there's one fact: a ship really did sink in the icy waters of the North Atlantic on the April 15th, 1912. Okay, everyone seems to agree.
True that.
So the conspiracy basically suggests that the Titanic wasn't the technical marvel the ship's parent company, the White Star Line, had promised. Okay? So, do you want me to re-say that?
Yeah, please. For the people in the back.
Yeah.
The Titanic,
Yeah.
the theory suggests that the Titanic wasn't actually the technical marvel, so the unsinkable ship that the company, the White Star Line, that's the company name, had promised it to be. That's the theory. Basically, rather than the White Star Line obviously advertising it and it being the Titanic, the theory goes, so there was a ship called the Olympic, and it was first built as the company's actual like big ship, the Olympic,
in Athens.
and it was considered the lead ship of the company, right? And if you don't remember the company, the White Star Line, keep that in mind. Okay, the White Star Line. Because it does sound like a ship or like something like that, but that's the company's name. And the Olympic was, it was basically like a cargo ship, and it had loads of different voyages, and loads of successes doing what it needed to do, basically. And on its 5th voyage, it ran into some serious trouble, basically.
Yeah.
On September the 20th...
A group of hoodlums.
On September the 20th, 1911, while passing a military vessel named the Hawk, the Olympic made an unexpected turn, caught off guard, and the two ships crashed, right? And basically, the Olympic was able to limp back to port, badly wounded. But basically, a trial was held, and it would later hold the White Star Line company responsible for the incident. Now, what's interesting is that...
Well, the military put them to trial?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But what's interesting is that the ship, the Olympic, and unfortunately I haven't got any photos for you, but I don't think you'll need one, because you know what the Titanic looks like, right?
No.
Wait, was it... Wait,
I do, yeah.
Was it like a big ship?
The Titanic?
Yeah.
Have you never seen the Titanic?
What, the movie?
No, just the ship.
Oh.
All the movie. Same thing.
Like
the Titanic's in it. It's the main star.
Like
who's the guy who was Timothée Chalamet?
The Titanic cameos next to Leonardo da Vinci.
Da Vinci, the amazing painter.
No, I don't. Because all I remember.
Do you want me to quickly show you what the Titanic is?
Yeah.
Basically, it's got two big black poles.
Yeah.
Like steam poles. 3? 2 or 3? 3? 4.
4.
And it's like got
That's the Titanic.
This is what it looked like.
If you don't know what it looks like, viewers, just search it up. But I'm sure most of you know what the Titanic looks like. You would have learnt about it in school or something.
Yeah.
Do you recognise it, Paolo?
No.
No, really.
Have you watched the film?
Well,
it's like one of the biggest phenomenons ever.
I remember what. Well, the only part I watched was when the sink was just
when the sink.
The sink.
Yeah. Not the sink.
In the kitchen.
Oh, not the sink. When the ship was starting to sink. But no, it's actually been a long time.
I'm glad I gave you a little context.
Yeah, I actually did not know.
Well, that was the boat.
It's basically an unsinkable branded ship that went to voyage for it was its first ever takeoff. It was going from Southampton to New York. Had jet boosters and everything going into the sky. And unfortunately it sunk and it killed masses.
Yeah.
Because it was obviously in the icy waters of the Atlantic, and obviously freezing water would have killed everyone, unfortunately.
I think. Well, I'm not sure if it is a fact, but because I can't remember this fact. Hey.
Do you want me to give you a chance to remember, and I'll carry on?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I've just showed you what the Titanic looks like, and I'm sure viewers, you might know what it looks like. If not, Google it.
But after this podcast.
But basically, the what was called its sister, the Olympic, its sister ship, twin sister, because they were identical down to a scratch. Basically, like there was nothing from the paint job to the structure.
Yeah.
What were the book called? The Titanic?
No, it was the Olympic and Titanic.
Ooh, they both ended with a C.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they both ended with the ick.
Well, the Olympic
anyway,
and the Titanic.
The only difference being the Titanic was a newer ship built with better kind of engineering to be, and again in quotes, unsinkable. Okay. Now, what's interesting about this theory, actually I'll go into these facts really quick. So the few people that survived the Titanic, which was 706 people, to roughly say it, and there was only 80 of them that were open to be interviewed after the incident. There's only ever been 80 people interviewed.
Wow.
After the
so how do they know how many people actually survived then?
Yeah.
Because after the incident, when they obviously got the rescue ships, they...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They didn't show that in the film.
Yeah, that's their director's fault. But basically, when in the interviews, I haven't personally seen these. I'm going off different. There was one or two that I saw, but basically, it says on so many different websites, and I when I research, I don't just look at one website. I'll go to different ones and see what the majority is. And this wasn't a majority. This was in every single one about this theory that they all speak obviously
in
about
English.
the Titanic.
Oh.
Not all of them.
That's true.
But they all speak about the Titanic and how there was actually a massive fire below deck in the engine room. However, none of them speak of an iceberg. Not once. And I think there was 15 to 20 interviews where they mentioned about an iceberg, and the actual interviewers just looked blank at them. Didn't go, what, iceberg? I mean, some of them made that reaction, but it was almost like they had been told not to talk about an iceberg. Like they had been paid off. That's the theory. Like something else had happened.
What? They've been paid to talk about the
the
iceberg
that
rather than something else.
No, they'd been basically some of them. It's basically when they were interviewed. It was like there was never an iceberg, because every time it was mentioned, it was just blanked off.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost like they know something's up, but they didn't want to say anything. You know what I mean? But so they basically paid off. The theory goes they paid off lower class men that worked on the Titanic to be a part of the big plan. Now I'll get into what this big plan is. So as I've said, the Olympic, built by the company, which is the White Star Line. Obviously, after this massive crash I mentioned with the military vessel,
They lost a lot of money.
they lost a lot of money. So the Olympic, the twin sister of the Titanic, was an economic disaster, and the lawsuit meant the repairs would not be covered by insurance for the company.
Wow.
And it was drawing no money in while sitting around the docks. So, this is the theory. This company basically had nowhere near enough money to repair this, and they need to, fund for the Titanic going out and all this, and they were in the verge of being bankrupt, having to declare bankruptcy. So the theory goes that because they're identical, they repaired the exterior, right? Because most of the damages to the Olympic were internal. That was where the worst of it was. So the theory goes they paid. I don't know. And nowadays it would be like maybe quite tens of thousands, but then the whole ship would have been like probably millions to repair. But back then, obviously, money was a bit different of how much it was worth. But the theory goes that they repaired the exterior of the Olympic enough to be functional, right? But they didn't repair where most of the damages were, which was in the engine room. Now, the one thing that I saw on the internet, and quite a few times, was a picture of the Olympic of where a fire had broke out in the engine room. Yes. So, the theory goes that the company actually swapped the two ships before the voyage of the Titanic actually took place. So,
oh my
they
gosh,
managed
That makes no sense though, because if they've already made the Titanic, what's the point in swapping?
Swapping the
you'll see. So, the theory goes they swapped the two.
Dang.
Right? And basically, the Olympic, basically, it was drawing no money, so they swapped with the Titanic, let it set voyage, and when it got to far enough away from anywhere, the boiler room, they knew for a fact that the ship was going to fail because it wasn't seaworthy, right? Because it had already been in a massive crash. So they knew it was going to sink. So when it got far enough and eventually the ship couldn't handle it anymore, unfortunately, let's just call it the Titanic for now, sunk because of the injuries to the ship. And obviously, all the interviewers gone about a really, really bad fire breaking out in the boiler room before the ship even started sinking.
Too many marshmallows.
The workers trying to on their lunch breaks toast marshmallows.
Making s'mores.
But obviously, this fire the interview he spoke of took place before the ship even started sinking. So, the theory goes is because obviously the ship sunk, right?
The sink in the kitchen.
The sink shunk. But the theory goes is basically it was one massive insurance fraud from that company because from the Titanic sinking, they were actually able to claim off insurance the money for that because the engineers that had made the Titanic end up losing all their jobs in that because it was proven from the top engineers to be unsinkable, and the company that had paid people to live up to that name obviously ended up sinking, so they were able to claim money off of these little companies that helped manufacture the Titanic.
Wow.
So from that, the Titanic was swapped, and the theory goes that the Titanic was where the Olympic was, and the Olympic was actually sunk as being named the Titanic. I mean, all you have to do is paint the Titanic on the side of it rather than Olympic, and then you go. They literally were identical ships.
Wow.
And obviously that ship was already losing the money, and they had to repair it, but it was just sitting there being one massive economic destruction.
So it was the Olympic that was.
That's the theory. That it was the Olympic that sunk. And the company
was it what was it called?
Would you trust
White Star Line?
The White Star Line.
Oh, Star Line.
Yeah.
Would you trust that company though? Like in the future?
Yeah.
But they're not around today.
Oh, obviously. But like if they said that a ship was unsinkable and it sunk, that makes bad business.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back then it was more the engineering and all that. It wasn't.
They blamed it on other companies.
Yeah, because obviously that's how they managed to get insurance claims on it.
Yeah.
And basically, miraculously, the Olympic within, I think it was like a month or two, was up back and running again. And they had no issues with money. But the company, obviously back then they had no online pay slips and all that.
Yeah.
It was all done by cash and all that. So there was no tracking of anything.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, within 2 months, I don't know what the exact damages were with the engine room and stuff within the Olympic, but miraculously the Olympic was up and running again, ready to do voyages.
Wow.
Like cargo voyages.
If it's just a month or 2 months, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
For to get that sorted and have the finances to do that.
Yeah.
And then it was back. So the theory goes they just put the Titanic in that place. It was a perfectly good ship. Why let it go to the waste at the bottom of the ocean? But they're also in financial crisis. Yeah. So why not use a really gone ship, set that a voyage, and then claim the insurance money off it. And it means the company doesn't go bankrupt, and they still have a working ship they don't have to repair.
Wow.
And obviously, back then, people were so... even now, people are so obsessed with money, they don't care if people are going to lose their lives during it and stuff.
No.
And the theory goes with the interviewees.
Yeah.
And the 80 people that did interview out of the 706 people that survived, is that the company earned so much money from this that they just paid them off. Because they were some of them were lower class, some of them were higher class, and obviously the lower class needed the money, and the higher class wanted the money.
Yeah.
So it was like for them, it was probably just a no-brainer. So the theory goes when they had interviews and stuff, the reason it's not spoke of because there's only 80 people that interviewed, and obviously, they're all old, dead now, unfortunately, because of time passing. So no one's ever going to really know.
It's weird because that's such a plausible story. Yeah. Even nowadays, it's such a plausible story, but it's been. I actually believe that more than an iceberg sunk on the way to New York. I guess it was cold that night, but a big iceberg. Surely you could see it, and surely you could go around it. It's not going to pop up in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And actually, another thing, the Olympic, which we think is the Titanic, when it eventually set sail again, it was miraculously scuttled in an accident, which the White Star Line company could collect an insurance payment from again, benefiting the brand new ship. And whilst claiming to carry on repairing the Olympic, which is definitely the Titanic. I really believe this. This is why this is probably my favorite theory because I think 110%. I do not put it past rich people back then
literally
to lose out on that much money, and then just insurance fraud. It was easy enough to do.
Man.
Yeah. No, and like there was no law. Well, there must be laws.
Yeah,
but there was no like tracking anything.
Yeah,
and in the end, the Olympic, we'll say, probably the Titanic, but the Olympic was eventually withdrawn from service and sold for scrap in 1935.
Wow.
Can you go see the can't you like not visit but like it's in the ocean and you can actually go get to it.
The Titanic?
Yeah.
You can, there's a documentary on it. But the thing is, they're both indistinguishable. They're both the same ship.
Yeah.
Actually, the paint job would peel off and like...
They were the same... They had the same paint job anyway.
No, I mean like the name of it, like where the name is.
But it wouldn't be hard to like scrap. But instead of rather just painting over it, they're probably way more like smarter about it and just like actually get rid of that paint job and then paint a whole new one rather than painting over it.
Maybe they should interview the fish that was there at the time.
Yeah, that's
a dumb theory, but
it's good witnesses. Well, I don't think the Olympic actually had a name on it. It didn't say the Olympic on the side of the ship.
Wait, what about the start? What about the
Titanic?
Yeah.
Oh, the Titanic had. But they had time, didn't they? If say they did swap the ships, they would have had time to to swap the Titanic before it was actually released to the public.
Yeah,
was covered by this massive sheet for ages until it was revealed.
Just so rain don't get on it, so because it could sink.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously,
I believe that. I was like,
but it was on it to surprise people, basically. But also, it's a very good way to easily swap a ship, and you wouldn't even notice the minor difference.
Yeah,
because everyone knew kind of what it looked like because it had been in newspapers and stuff, but no one had actually seen it for their own eyes yet. So obviously, there might have been one or two things you might have been, oh, this might be a little bit different from the Olympic, but on a newspaper and stuff like that, they're just going to look the same.
Yeah,
it's literally. If I type in Google, and viewers, if you have internet accessible to you, type in Titanic next to Olympic, and then obviously put ship at the end or something
on the images.
And then go on images, and I kid you not, they are the exact same ship.
Oh my god! Yeah.
There's nothing different about them.
Literally,
the same length.
Actually, that one's thinner. Probably it's further away.
Yeah, I think it's just the camera angle.
I think it's the pictures.
But they were literally. I know this isn't a real photo, but it was literally like that.
Wow.
But there's nothing different about the two ships.
It's mad how like it literally like it all links about money.
That one is longer.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, so the Olympic was a little bit longer.
That's a Queen Mary.
Oh no, never mind. Oh. But yeah, so it's really interesting. I think it's a really plausible theory. I think it definitely. I would not be surprised if that is a thing that happened.
Yeah,
but we'll never know.
Yeah,
we'll never know. And to be fair, like, unfortunately, obviously, loads of people lost their lives, and I think the families would want justice. But I don't think it's like it was so long ago now. I don't think.
And that's why we need time machines, man.
Never look into it. Yeah,
true that.
Time machines to work out these things. Yeah.
But do you think it could like ever be like proven in some time?
I don't think because obviously the ship sunk and it's been so many years since that ship sunk and it's been at the bottom of the ocean corroding. There's going to be nothing.
And I feel like no one cares because the company's gone now anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, the company.
Well, to be fair, the families of the passed away people they might be quite passionate about these kind of theories because obviously they'd be like,
Well, if you want to pay us off, then.
But yeah, so what do you think between two? Do you think it's a thing that might have happened?
Yeah,
I do believe it.
Yeah, I think that's a very very valid.
Honestly, I love reading about this. I was like, yes, good, because it's just the fact that it seems so for a big company at the time to just swap. Obviously, a massive crash happened between their current identical twin sister ship. They had a ship about to be revealed to the public. They ended up having a massive insurance claim that the insurance wouldn't help with, and they had to pay out however much, enough to make them bankrupt. So to just swap the ships,
it's so plausible.
To swap the ships and then repair enough for it to go further enough into the sea before it hits New York, it sinks because of the the engine room and the boiler room.
Man.
And then
the same thing happened. It's like,
and then they get all this money, and then somehow the Olympics back up and running again.
Yeah.
The thing that gets me is the interviews, the way the interviewees reacted.
Yeah.
I ain't watched them all.
The iceberg as well.
Yeah, can you watch them all?
I watched like 2, and they were all very careful, like everything
because
they
got paid off already.
Like maybe the company did pay. Like that's what I mean. Like at the time, the lower class people would have needed the money, and the higher class people,
wanted the money,
especially because obviously men would have been like, unfortunately in control of the families and stuff like that at the time, and like the women. So they would have been like, yeah, I'm taking the money.
Yeah,
100%. I don't doubt that at all. But you think about it as well, like just plainly, how could like a captain not have seen the iceberg? That's another that's what makes him even more plausible. Because if you think about it, like, he's the captain of a ship. It's not like an easy role. You're trained to be, in charge of all these people.
No, of course.
So, but yeah, apparently there's another thing as well added onto this theory that the staff that worked within, so the lower class people that worked below deck on the engine room and stuff, were there to make sure that the well, let's just say it was the Olympic and not the Titanic, that it would fault on time and that it would sink. And the deal was that they would pay off their families and stuff.
It's all come down to money. Everything comes down to money.
Yeah.
It's quite sad, actually, to be fair.
It's a very sad story, and especially, I mean, either way, if it's not true or not, Titanic is a very sad tale. But
it was beautifully told by Leonardo da Vinci.
Huh?
It's beautifully told by Leonardo da Vinci as well.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci and Margot Robbie, innit?
Yeah. Helen of Troy.
Helen of
Troy was beautiful.
But yeah, the White Star Line company are not around anymore.
It's actually Virgin Atlantic's.
Oh God,
we can't say that. It's not. It's not.
No,
we don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Why would we get sued?
By Virgin saying it's the same company.
They're not. They're not around anymore. Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone. But.
Thank God.
Yeah, so that'll bring this theory to an end. I hope you enjoyed that theory.
Yeah, man.
I personally really like that theory.
It's literally, like, it's changed my whole perspective about...
Especially if someone didn't know what the Titanic was anyway. You obviously knew it was a ship that sunk.
Yeah.
And the name. But
And a film.
And a film.
Yes.
You should definitely watch.
Yes.
It's a good film. But in that film, it hits an iceberg.
Yeah.
So that must be what happens.
They paid the film off.
Well, that's another thing I was thinking about. What if...
Whoa.
Like, maybe... Obviously, the company went bankrupt, but the people would have still been around. So maybe they made sure that film had an iceberg in it. Like, and obviously, think about how many people know about the Titanic because of that film.
Yeah.
And everyone in that film knows that that ship hits an iceberg.
Yeah.
And that's just common knowledge today.
That is true.
That is true.
That could be another theory. The reason that film was made because of like the I've forgotten the company name now. The White Star Line.
The White Star Line, yeah.
But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and that'll bring this episode.
I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it.
I'm not gonna hint what the next mystery is. You'll have to find out in the next episode.
That will be a mystery.
So will you,
yeah, that will be a mystery.
I was gonna say viewers. I don't know why.
Fewer viewers. No, we don't want fewer viewers. We're more viewers. Like and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, and
like and subscribe.
If you have any mystery ideas or what if ideas or history
or drama questions that we want us to
please comment in the comments of the actual
video.
A what if question in a mystery, because obviously we'll see it.
Yeah.
Because we all host it separately and we surprise each other with what the actual theory or topic, history or question what if is going to be about. So yeah, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and we'll always
if you don't but it's free.
Either way, we're going to be making content because we love to do it. I mean, like, I really enjoyed getting research for this stuff, but yeah, and I hope you aren't bored of me, Paolo, and Joe yet.
I am.
Okay, Joe. It's fine.
Sorry, that's alright. That was really deep.
No, I see you, Joe. I see you.
Thank you.
Anyways,
shout out to Paolo's family and friends.
Yeah, we always go to the shout outs.
It's fine.
We always go to the shout out to my friends,
Shout
my
out to
family.
Paolo's family.
A shout out to my friend. Just the one friend.
Shout out to my family and friends.
That's my family and friends.
You always go to the shout outs.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you later.
What?
Bye.
Damn it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.